What's the best piece of advice you could give someone about to start their career in advertising? Don't do a podcast in a garden where they're doing the recycling. How about that?
With that.
So welcome to a very special episode of After Work in Cannes.
Here we are.
We've never been on location before, and welcome Clare
exciting.
Pickens, who is the National CEO of Leo Australia,
That's wonderful,
which
thank you.
covers Sydney and Melbourne.
That's correct.
And sounds really important.
It's very important, absolutely.
So what does After Work mean to you?
What I have learned in my wisdom and age is the cliched response of balance. I really like not working, thinking about work or being at work. And Australia is a pretty good place to do that. I live within 10 minutes walk of 7 different beaches. It is currently humpback whale season, and so I can just pop down to the grocery store and see whales and dolphins. Yes, there are sharks, but we avoid them.
We don't worry about that.
We don't worry about that. But lifestyle is pretty good. It's
You
pretty
lucky,
good.
lucky thing. You've made some very confident choices over the span of your career, whether it's taking a leap to a more senior role or moving countries multiple times. So you've worked in London, Liverpool, Amsterdam and Sydney now.
Yes.
And also across Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then you've also made confident choices, which is taking time out.
Yes, best choice ever.
So I guess my question is, how have you had such confidence in yourself and your moves?
Number one, I'm gonna shout you out for a second because you've always been a flipping great sounding board for some of these decisions.
Thanks, mate.
And that is just an undeniable value to great people in the industry that you meet along the way, that you can
Blushing
actually
under my red dressing can.
you can sit there and go, I don't know what to do about this, and have somebody objectively, sort of sense check it and work it through with you is invaluable. And I'm lucky to have people like you and others that I'm able to do that with. I'm not afraid of a leap into the unknown. I grew up moving countries. You go, you find opportunity, you have an adventure. So that mindset is probably something that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I think the confidence aspect comes a little bit from the sense of I'll figure it out. And if it doesn't work, I'll pivot or I'll go back. And so moving to Amsterdam with just a suitcase and no job, I was like, well, it'll work or it won't. And if it doesn't, what's to stop me going back, to London? There's nothing. We think these decisions sometimes have a finality to them, but they don't, that you can evolve and you can change. And I think I've always been sort of the mindset that I'll be able to work. There's always an employability to me. Even that means I'm going to work in a cafe at some point, whatever. I've always just had that sort of mindset of there will be a job that I can do, that I'm able to do, and that will be okay. But I'm just fine with things being unclear or ambiguous and feeling okay that somehow there'll be a path to navigate through and it'll be all right.
I think a lot of us want certainty, and I think you leaning into the uncertain has opened up so many beautiful career moments for you. So if you could give advice to people who really want to organize, map it out, be certain, what would that be?
Potentially set yourself up to be disappointed. I admire young people so much for having clear linear growth plans in mind, but life isn't always like that. And if you set yourself expectations to be here by a certain age or stage, perhaps you're going to be disappointed at some point. The industry itself, the pace of change is so rapid with things like technology, et cetera, we have to just have adaptability, we have to have resilience, and we have to be unafraid of change. But there's opportunity within that. We're a creative industry. If we can't solve our own problems, we're not really truly creative. Change is opportunity in that sense. And I think for anyone trying to navigate that path, do the thing that you're doing really, really well, and opportunity will come. I never set out at the start of my career to say I want to be a CEO one day. I just kept doing the job that was in front of me as well as I could. And opportunity therefore finds you because you become somebody that's dependable and, that can handle the situations that are in front of you. I think we've just got to lean into it's okay not to know. It's okay to enjoy the journey.
How much would you suggest people stop trying to be perfect? Because perfectionism is such a thing in our industry, and optimization and all the crap.
Yeah.
And I'm way too undisciplined to do any of it. But there is a trend into trying to make things perfect.
Yeah, one of my mottos at the moment in Australia is progress over process. You need to know the rules, you need to understand the process, so then you can figure out how to navigate through it or around it to actually make progress, to actually have impact. I think lots of people are working very, very hard and are very, very busy, but are not necessarily impactful. But then we have to be able to throw away the rule book as well and go, okay, we might have always done that like that, but it's not serving us anymore, or it's not healthy, or it's not making great work. So we're not just about getting from A to B, it's about getting from A to B and B still being really good at the end of it. That requires us to circumnavigate, sometimes process. It requires us to think outside the box. It requires us to understand what's important and what's not important. Clients often don't want that or don't want to lean into that because they're under a huge amount of pressure as well. So it's got to be a balance. But I think let's stop perfecting everything to within an inch of its life, and let's experiment with shit and fail and learn and think outside the box and out the confines.
Create something unexpected,
exactly.
maybe.
The best ideas don't fit in those boxes a lot of the time. We're giving them all the rule books, the playbooks, and the box ticking. We're not giving them the space to also get rid of that stuff and not care about that and just care about whether it's good or not.
When you moved, you talked about wanting to have more of a life in Sydney than just be a work machine.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
100%. It's great. The break that I took, which is now 6 or 7 years ago, I took nearly a whole year out. I've never, in the industry since then, worked in quite the same way. I've been very conscious of switching off.
Was that because you nearly got to burnout?
100%. I would never have called it burnout at the time, partly because of pride, partly because we didn't really maybe have that language at the time. Reflectively looking back, it was absolutely burnout. If I hadn't, I would be a broken person and would be completely ineffective for everybody around me and myself. And so it's not about having, stronger boundaries, it's about different priorities.
What's the best thing you've done in the last 12 months?
Could it be a non-professional thing?
Oh my God, yeah.
This is after work.
Those are the better answers, quite frankly.
Is it the best thing? I don't know, because it was grueling and brutal, but I have my rescue scuba diver certification, which I did very recently. Contradict my point earlier about not planning things out, but I know in 10 years' time where I would like to be, and I'm working back to define all the skills I need to acquire in that space of time. And one of them is that I want to get my dive master certification.
Okay, but don't leave us hanging. Where are you going to be in 10 years' time?
I'm going to be on a beach in Indonesia.
Oh.
Hopefully running a small dive shop and a little eco lodge of some description.
Oh. What's the best piece of advice you could give someone starting their career in advertising?
Learn the tools, don't rely on the tools. If you lose your critical thinking, if you lose the ability to evolve taste and judgment and creative understanding, if you lose the ability to empathize with humans and think with your heart and be emotional, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because all you are is a tool operator. You're not somebody who's bringing value to the business, to the work, to the partnerships in a meaningful way.
Clare Pickens, thank you so much for coming to this very noisy garden and hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
It's been absolutely my pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
That's
and
great.
It's been a test of our resilience here on the couch. But
and getting us together location-wise.
Absolutely. Thank you. because our cultural contexts were different and not aware.
Are you kidding me? It's like between the sun, the guys moving furniture and that. Come on.